Morning. Hello. Hope everybody is having a good morning, getting your weekend on a good note, on a good start. Hope everyone enjoyed their Halloween last night. Everyone was safe. Hopefully you guys weren't out there cutting up. And everybody had a good time, even if you were just relaxing. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, this morning, what I want to talk about is crab in a bucket mentality. That's what I want to talk about this morning. We're not going to go into a super deep dive. But like I always say, I encourage people to do their own research as well anyway. But I do want to touch on it a bit. That's a fact. Alright. So let's get started. Crab in a bucket mentality is a metaphor for a pattern of human behavior in which members of a group attempt to pull down or undermine any member who achieves success beyond the others. Good morning, Mr. Goodbar. Where was I at? Oh, yeah. This happens out of a combination of envy, jealousy, resentment, and insecurity. The saying comes from an anecdote about trapping crabs. A single crab in a bucket can easily escape, but if you put multiple crabs in, they will pull down any crab that tries to climb out, ensuring their collective demise. The equivalent human behavior can manifest in friendships, families, and workplaces, creating a toxic and negative environment. So that is what we're going to be talking about this morning. What time is it? I say I got about like 30 minutes. That's what I want to talk about. The crab in the bucket mentality. How are you doing, Mr. Goodbar? Well, I hope. Good. Okay. Cool beans. Can you hear me okay? I don't have my headphones in. I'm doing well, thank you. Can you hear me good? I'm thinking you can. Okay, cool. Okay. It gives us an explanation of the mentality. All right, we already read that. Hold on. I don't want to reread something I already read. Okay, so certain behaviors, humans with crab-like mentality, not crab-like, crab in a bucket or barrel mentality. They gave us a couple different types of behaviors that they exhibit. So it says sabotaging efforts. Individuals may subtly or overtly undermine a peer's progress. Sabotaging efforts. Individuals may subtly or overtly undermine a peer's progress. So if you see one of your people doing good and trying to be better than what they was, you gonna sit here and just act like it's nothing? Why would you do that? You don't want your people to do good? All right. Criticism and negativity. Success is met with negative comments, doubt, or the downplaying of achievements. Often attributing success to luck rather than hard work. Criticism and negativity. Success is met with negative comments, doubt, or the downplaying of achievements. Often attributing success to luck rather than hard work. Like, oh, you're lucky. Am I, or do I just bust my ass? Excuse my language. Like, and people do stuff like that. And you gotta be able to peep it. You have to be able to peep it. If you're the type of person that plays sports, somebody will really be hating on you on the low and on the high. They ain't gonna talk about how you spent all summer. Like, if, you know, for ones that played sports in school, they're not gonna talk about how while they was out there chilling and partying and hanging out all summer, you was at camp, going to practice, working out, dieting, everything that you needed to do to work on whatever your craft was or is. And because you happen to be born with a certain build or with a certain height, that's the only reason why you doing good in whatever sport. It's not because you're hard work. And that's in anything that you do. You're not gonna, some people don't talk about the work you put in to get to wherever you're at. They just want to talk about how lucky you are, how easy it is for you. Or oh, they only got that job because they know such and such. Man, and people be worried about the wrong things. I don't care how or why somebody got something. That does not have anything to do with me. That does not improve or take away from my life. So why would I hyper focus on how or why somebody got something? I'm trying to hyper focus on how to get what I want to get and then maintain that. You be worried about the wrong thing sometimes. What does that got to do with the price of tea in China? How somebody or why somebody got what they got? I don't get it. And if you cool with the people in whatever group you in, whether or if that's your family, whatever the case may be, the goal should never be to downplay nothing that they do, especially if they doing good stuff. You should be uplifting. Or trying to add ideas and solutions. Okay. Withholding support. People may refrain from offering praise, help, or networking opportunities out of fear of being left behind or made to feel inadequate by another person's growth. I'm going over the human behaviors that somebody with the crab in a bucket mentality exhibits. You talking about real life, because that doesn't apply on YouTube. It applies anywhere there's a group of people. Not to every group, obviously, because everybody don't move that way. But there's definitely people that move that way within a group, rather than uplifting one another. They rather police what other people do instead of worrying about what they do. Anything I talk about applies just in general, whether that's on here, whether that's on another platform, real life, any of that. Some are, some aren't. Gotta weed them out. All right. Oh yeah, I'll read that again. Withholding support. People may refrain from offering praise, help, or networking opportunities out of fear of being left behind or made to feel inadequate by another person's growth. That's some real hating behind ish. I don't like that, and I don't subscribe to that. And I don't compete, I uplift. I don't understand people's thought process. Like, if I see some fly shit, I'm gonna say that's fly shit. And I don't take away from nothing that I got going on. So I already know I'm cooler than the other side of the pillow. Duh. I enjoy uplifting others, especially other women. Women that don't uplift other women, I call that pickle juice energy, because 9 times out of 10 they smell like pickle juice. I don't like or subscribe to that. You gotta have the ability to big yourself up while bigging others up at the same time. It's not a competition. Okay. The last behavior they gave us is maintaining the status quo. Maintaining the status quo. Hold on. The person attempting to quote unquote climb out, meaning do their own thing, do things a little different from the group, is seen as a threat to the established social dynamic, and the group pressures them to conform to the original, often lower standard. That's a big one, because I definitely peeped that on here, and I definitely peeped that in real life. Hold on. All right, my bad. Yeah, that's a big one, because I see that and I don't like that crap. And I don't subscribe to that. Don't question me about nothing, especially if I'm not moving in a way that's fake. I don't like that. People have to have the ability to do what they do while not trying to police what others do. Because what's it to you? Bars. What is it to you? I'm going to read that again. Maintaining the status quo. The person attempting to quote unquote climb out is seen as a threat to the established social dynamic. Why is that seen as a threat? Especially if you have a rapport with that person. Especially if they're not moving on no mess, moving around being messy. Why is that a threat? And the group pressures them to conform to the original, often lower standard. I call it getting DP'd. Pressures them to conform. How you gonna pressure another grown person to conform to what you want them to do or how you want them to move, rather than just focusing on how you want to move and what you want to do? I don't understand that. I really don't. But okay, those are the behaviors. Let's see. But to each their own. Causes in psychology. The crab in a bucket mentality often stems from several psychological and social factors. Scarcity mindset. What the heck is a scarcity mindset? A belief that success or opportunities are limited resources, so one person's gain must come at another's expense. I'm going over the causes and psychology of the crab in a bucket mentality. Scarcity mindset. A belief that success or opportunities are limited resources, so one person's gain must come at another's expense. How would that be? How would anyone's success in a group that you're in come at your expense? When you're supposed to be worried about you and what you're supposed to do and whatever work you're supposed to put in. That's where people get things twisted and messed up. Don't hyper focus on what somebody else is doing or what they choose to do, especially if it's not affecting you. Just do you. It's not hard. That's some real hating-ish. In my opinion. Anybody that I'm cool with, I want to do well and I want to be great, and I push that. I push that hard. I don't want none of the people that I'm cool with to be in any type of mess. I don't encourage that. I don't cheer that on. If I'm in a chat and that's happening, I try to redirect it. Somebody's doing something, I big them up. That's how you're supposed to move with people that you cool with. And people that you're not cool with, you leave them where they at. Because when you big each other up, can't nothing be taken from nothing. Because it's constantly being replenished. It's definitely easier said than done, but it can be done. It's not impossible, and it's really not that hard. It really isn't. And good morning to the cloud dwellers. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming. I appreciate everybody. I mean, it just is what it is. Because I've met some cool people in that sector. And not everybody moves the same way. It's not a monolith. And some people are choosing to move a little differently than what they used to move, and I encourage that. And for the people that choose to do different content than what they used to do, I encourage that too. And I don't want them to feel like if they sway from doing certain type of content, they're not going to have people that's going to support them, or that's going to try to be on some negative stuff about what they choosing to do. Never mind that. Do you? All right, where was I at? Okay, so we went over this scarcity mindset. Social comparison theory. Social comparison theory. Judging one's own worth by comparing others to peers, leading to feelings of inadequacy when a peer excels. Judging one's own... Yeah, be good. I already told you. Judging one's own social worth by comparing oneself to peers, leading to feelings of inadequacy when a peer excels. Listen, no one should ever feel less than if they see one of their people doing good or doing what they consider quote unquote better than what they are doing. You should never feel less than. That don't got nothing to do with you unless you add it to it, and that's a good thing. If anything, switch up your perspective on it. Let that be some fire underneath your butt to go a little harder towards whatever it is you would like to have or do. That's how I look at that. Someone else doing good doesn't mean that you're inadequate or less than. Hell no. Insecurity and fear. The success of others can highlight an individual's own stagnation or perceived failures, leading to defensive behaviors. Insecurity and fear. The success of others can highlight an individual's own stagnation or perceived failures, leading to defensive behaviors. That's some hate and shit. I don't know a better way to put it. Excuse my language. That's hate and stuff, yo. Word is bond. That is some hating behind stuff. And some deep-rooted stuff. And that's what I talked about people that you just sit and idly by while the world is moving around you. If you want something, you gotta do something. Faith without works is dead. So if you're saying you want something, you gotta do something and be consistent. Because otherwise, you're gonna be one of them people sitting idly by while your folks is making moves, doing things, and you're gonna be hating. Don't go out like that. If you want something, do something. If you want something, do something. So we just went over the causes and the psychology of someone with the crab in a bucket mentality. What else? So we have this last section. How to deal with it. How to deal with it. Be self-aware. Being self-aware is a big one for me, just in general. That's very important to know what you got going on with yourself. And it makes it so much easier to have the ability to take heed and not offense when you're receiving certain constructive criticisms or certain things are said to or about you. When you know yourself and what you got going on and how you move and how you give it up, that's a wonderful thing. But yes, be self-aware, because we're going over how to deal with the crab in the bucket mentality. Be self-aware, recognize the behavior in others and in yourself, understanding that it often stems from the other person's issues, not your worth. Okay? Set boundaries. Limit interactions with consistently negative people, and be selective about who you share your goals and dreams with. Everything is not for everybody. Okay? And everybody can't come. That's one thing to remember for sure. Everything is not for everybody, and everybody can't come. No, it's not. Okay, let's see. And then the last one is build a support system. Oh, no, that's not the last one. I lied. Build a support system. Surround yourself with positive, growth-oriented individuals who celebrate success and lift each other up. That's very important. I feel like that's very important. Especially if you're trying to make any type of positive change in your life or the quality of your life. I feel like that's very important. Just like if you were somebody that wanted to stop drinking or smoking, you're not going to really be hanging around people that drink and smoke blatantly in your face. I would think so. All right. The last one is focus on personal growth. Continue to work towards your goals and build resilience against external negativity. Focus on personal growth. Continue to work towards your goals and build resilience against external negativity. Rise above the fray. you are the conductor of your train. Conform to who and for what? You gotta be yourself and be your own person. And don't let other people dictate how you move. Or make you feel bad for wanting to move in a way that's different from how they choose to move. And that's some whack behavior. And I don't subscribe to that. And in my opinion, I don't think neither one of you guys should either. Like, for real. But I'm out of here. I hope anybody, slow down, V. I hope that anybody that hears me with their ears was able to get something out of this. And like I said, I encourage you guys to do your own research. And I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.